Are you pissed off? Are you fucking pissed? Are you pissed at the phrase alternative facts? Are you pissed off about the global gag rule, the revival of pipelines, the wall, the immigration ban? Are you too pissed to be pacified by a ballot box or an online petition? Do you want more than Facebook arguments and polite protests and empty talk? Do you want more? Well then, here's good news for you. You don't have to just be a boring ass liberal. You can be a radical. This is not going to be a complete in-depth analysis of liberal versus radical. There are a lot of differences, but here's one difference I want to talk about because I think it's super important right now. A foundational liberal myth is that public opinion is how change happens. So for most liberals, public opinion is primary, and rational argument and education are seen as the vehicles of social change. For radical, on the other hand, public opinion is seen as helpful, but it's not the end-all be-all because organized political resistance and direct action are what really get the goods. Therefore, you hear a lot of liberal focus on changing hearts and minds one at a time, whereas a radical would point out that change hasn't historically come about simply because people were educated or concerned or aware of an injustice. Change came about when that awareness was translated into political resistance movements, and when those movements then acted strategically to achieve their goals. Frederick Douglass famously said that power concedes nothing without a demand, meaning that Trump and Bannon and that whole cabinet are not going to reconsider their plans simply because public opinion is obviously against them. But they will reconsider their plans if people take actions to make those plans completely unviable and impractical. Trump's team will reconsider only when they're given no other option but to reconsider. Here's why I think that's important right now. We are living in a post-fact age, and Trump realizes this. Maybe the truest thing he ever said was,
where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay?
Because in the age of the internet, anyone who doesn't want to face the facts can find plenty of alternative facts to fit their worldview. Trump realizes that we're in a time when facts don't really matter and his ability to manipulate does. Or at least it did, because his manipulation got him into a position of power. Now he doesn't even need to convince his supporters, or anyone for that matter, that what he wants to do is right. He simply does it. He acts, he appoints, he repeals, he lies, he signs. He acts first and he leaves the media bickering in his dust. They chase after him with well-documented, well-communicated, well-substantiated evidence that what he did was wrong. Meanwhile, he's already on to his next order of business. Meanwhile, the planet burns. The question then isn't how can we prove Trump wrong? The proof's there. It obviously doesn't matter to him. The question isn't how can we catch Trump in a lie? He's been caught. That hasn't slowed him down. The question is, how can we head him off in the real physical world and stop his plans from manifesting? So let me again ask you, are you tired of fighting the endless internet comment war, stuck in the digital fantasy land of armchair philosophers and cliche arguments and cries of fake news? Then get out there. He can't build a wall if people are locked in front of it, if people are tearing it down once it goes up, if people are dismantling all the construction equipment. When you're a radical, you don't have to run around chasing the permits and asking for permission to protest properly. You make them ask permission from you. Make Trump ask your permission to build a wall, and then tell him, no, what? There are tons of people doing this right now. Sanctuary cities saying if you want to deport someone, you have to come through us first. The taxi union strike at JFK Airport and a lot of the other resistance at the airports this weekend. Indigenous resistance at Standing Rock. The students at UC Berkeley. These are people taking action to make Trump's plans completely unviable and impractical. You actually don't have to be like in the middle of the confrontations, out in the streets, clashing with the cops or locking your body onto heavy machinery. You can still be a radical and a resistor. Maybe your most effective role in the resistance is being great at childcare, or being supportive to people who are in jail, or being a counselor when people are having a hard time, or making amazing food. These roles are what make a resistance movement. Your natural gifts and your passions are your best contributions to any resistance. Duh! If you've passionately spent years learning to be a therapist, then use that. Don't think you suddenly have to take up climbing and turn into the fucking Mission Impossible Tom Cruise of activism. If you love kids and you love gardening, then teach kids to garden. That can be an amazing form of resistance too. However, there's a huge, vast, great, large, huge difference between example A, those crazy radical protesters should just teach children to garden like I'm doing, and example B, yeah, that's not my role to play, but unfortunately it's a necessary one. That difference, that solidarity, that support, that culture of resistance is so crucial. That's what allows resistance movements to form and grow. That's the breath that keeps resistance alive. Be example B, that solidarity. Do that. Also, don't talk to the cops ever and never snitch on anyone. So there you go. I know despair is a very real thing, but you can fight that with defiance. Embrace direct action. There are literally hundreds of thousands of people out there just itching to take part in meaningful resistance. I shot this video on my phone. You can make shit happen too. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just hop up, get out of the house, and make it happen.